When it comes to keeping your blood sugar stable, two words get thrown around a lot: protein and fiber. You've probably heard that both are important for reducing blood sugar spikes, keeping you feeling fuller for longer, and helping with weight loss. But here's the question: if you had to pick just one, which is more important for blood sugar control? Today, I'm breaking down in detail. We'll look at what fiber really does for the body, why protein does more than just slowing down digestion, and how context matters when it comes to balancing your blood sugar and reversing insulin resistance. If you're new here, my name's Kate, and I'm a nutritionist who specializes in insulin resistance and blood sugar control. I help people to reverse insulin resistance, PCOS, and type 2 diabetes naturally. And I've seen firsthand with hundreds of clients how protein and fiber can be beneficial. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's start with fiber. Fiber is technically a carbohydrate, but it's unique because your body can't fully digest it. Instead, it passes through the digestive tract, either partially broken down or completely intact. Now, there are two types of fiber: soluble and insoluble. Soluble fiber dissolves in water and forms a gel-like substance. This slows digestion and helps blunt the blood sugar response from a meal. Think oats, beans, or apples. Insoluble fiber adds bulk and helps food move through the digestive tract. Think vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Now, when it comes to blood sugar, the main benefit of fiber is slowing down how quickly glucose enters the bloodstream. That's why eating a whole fruit that has fiber is very different than drinking the juice from that fruit. The fiber in the whole fruit slows digestion, which makes the blood sugar rise slower and lower. So yes, fiber can absolutely help with blood sugar control. But here's an important point. Fiber is actually a non-essential nutrient. You don't require any fiber in your diet for good health. There is no such thing as a fiber deficiency. And if you eat a nutrient-dense diet without processed food, the role of fiber becomes much less critical. Now let's talk about protein. And this is a little bit different because it actually is an essential nutrient. Your body literally cannot function without it. It provides the building blocks for your muscles, your skin, your enzymes, your hormones, and even your immune system. Now, when it comes to blood sugar, protein helps in two ways. First off, like fiber, it slows down digestion. This means that when you eat protein with carbs, say chicken with rice or steak with sweet potato, the carbs digest more slowly and cause a smaller spike in blood sugar. But here's where protein really shines and can really have a positive impact on your blood sugar long term. And that's with your muscle. Muscle is the largest sink for glucose in your entire body. The more lean muscle mass you have, the more efficiently you can pull sugar out of the blood and into your muscle cells to be used as energy. And this is critical because as we age, we actually lose more and more muscle. We naturally lose muscle unless we actively work to maintain it. And that loss of muscle mass is one of the reasons blood sugar control and insulin resistance worsen with age. Protein helps to prevent that. So while both protein and fiber slow down digestion and can help in the short term to reduce blood sugar spikes, protein also strengthens your long-term blood sugar control by building and maintaining muscle. Now, before we go any further, I quickly want to thank today's sponsor, ButcherCrowd. One of the biggest challenges I see with clients is not just knowing that they need more protein, but actually having high-quality protein sources on hand. And that's where ButcherCrowd comes in. ButcherCrowd delivers grass-fed and finished beef and lamb, pasture-raised chicken and pork, and wild-caught seafood straight to your door, Australia-wide. The quality is amazing. You can really taste the difference. And it makes hitting your protein targets so much easier. I personally keep my freezer stocked with ButcherCrowd because it takes all the stress out of meal prep. I know I'll always have healthy, high-protein options ready to go. If you want to try it out for yourself, you can head to healthcoachkate.com/butchercrowd and make sure to use code HCK15 at checkout because that's going to save you 15% off your first box. Thank you to ButcherCrowd for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to fiber because this is where the conversation can get a little bit misleading. Most of the benefits we hear about fiber, like lowering cholesterol, helping with digestion, reducing diabetes risk, come from comparing people who eat fiber-rich foods to people who eat highly processed diets. Of course, if you compare someone eating white bread, fast food, and soda to someone eating beans and broccoli, the person eating more fiber looks healthier. But that's not really a fair comparison, is it? It's mostly the removal of the processed food that makes the difference. If someone eats a carnivore diet, for example, with nothing but animal-based whole foods, they often don't have any digestive problems. That's because meat, fish, and eggs are fully digested in the small intestine. There is no fiber needed. Yes, bowel movements may be smaller and less frequent, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Less bulk in your stools doesn't mean worse health. You're simply able to absorb more from your food, so there's less waste. So while fiber does help blood sugar control in many contexts, The benefits are often exaggerated. You don't need fiber to have good digestion or stable blood sugar, as long as you're eating a whole food, nutrient-dense diet. Now, I'm not saying fiber is bad by any means. Yes, you can have too much, and that's where people start to run into some digestive problems. Too much fiber can actually cause constipation. It can cause bloating, it can cause gas, so there's definitely a happy medium here. And I find that most of my clients actually do better eating a little bit less fiber than what's recommended with the dietary guidelines. Again, this is in the context of eating mostly whole food and not a lot of processed food. If you're eating a standard Western diet full of processed carbs, fiber is hugely helpful. Adding more fiber can absolutely improve blood sugar and digestion. In that case, fiber does make a massive difference. But if you're already eating a low carb or whole food diet focused on quality protein, fiber becomes less critical. You're not constantly spiking your blood sugar to begin with, so there's less need for fiber to slow digestion. It's also why eating whole fruit is better than drinking fruit juice. The fiber slows down digestion and keeps the blood sugar response lower. But if you're comparing someone on, let's say, an animal-based diet versus someone on a standard processed diet, you're going to see very different outcomes when it comes to fiber's role. So again, it's not that fiber's bad. It's just not essential. And the benefits have been a little bit over-exaggerated. The benefits depend heavily on what the rest of your diet looks like. So if you're trying to decide whether you should add more protein into your diet or more fiber, there's a clear answer here. Protein wins. Fiber helps slow digestion and can support blood sugar stability, but protein does that too, while also helping to build and maintain muscle. And muscle is what drives insulin sensitivity in the long term. Plus, protein is essential. Your body can't function optimally without it. Fiber, on the other hand, is not essential. It can help, especially in the context of a processed diet, but it's not the game changer that protein is. So what does this look like in practice? Start every meal with protein and build from there. Aim for at least 30 grams per meal, ideally 40 or 50 grams. If you want to add fiber to top that up, vegetables, fruit, chia seeds, these can all be great, but don't let fiber crowd protein off your plate. And when it comes to fruit, eat the whole fruit. This is going to be better than eating it dried or drinking fruit juice. So to recap what we've covered in today's video, fiber slows digestion and helps blunt blood sugar spikes, but it's a non-essential nutrient and its benefits are often overstated. Protein not only slows digestion, but also helps build muscle, which massively improves your insulin sensitivity over time. And it is essential. You cannot function without it. So while both play a role, protein is the more important one here. Now, I'd love to hear from you guys. Do you focus more on protein or fiber in your diet? Are you going to change anything after watching today's video? Let me know in the comments down below. And before you go, if you're in Australia, make sure to check out ButcherCrowd. You can do that by heading to healthcoachkate.com/ButcherCrowd and using code HCK15 to save 15%. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.